Tons of people are telling you to use agentic agents within your agency, but the problem, they never tell you how. And this all started with OpenClaw. Tons of hype around it, limited information on how to execute. I used it for a while, it was okay. But recently, I started using Hermes agent and it's helping me with a shit ton of activities for my agency. So I want to show you real world activities of how I'm using it to scale to over $250,000 a month. So you may be wondering, why on earth have I decided to use Hermes agent instead of OpenClaw? It's obviously a lot more popular and tons more people speak about OpenClaw. And it's for a few reasons. Firstly, when it comes to OpenClaw, it doesn't have a self-improving user model. What this means and the difference between OpenClaw and Hermes agent is, Hermes agent, every single thing you speak to it about, it takes it into account and improves. It is an improving model. Meaning day one, you may not get the best use case out of it. Month one, you're gonna see improvements. Month five, what the fuck, this shit's amazing. Compared to OpenClaw, it's going to be the same out of the box every single time. And the second main reason, and I'm gonna be honest, this was really the key thing which sold me on it. It automatically generates with skills. So when you download this within your terminal, I believe, I may be wrong, it has around 40 skills preloaded. When it comes to OpenClaw, it doesn't have pre-built skills. You need to go to places like GitHub and download it. So it's just extra work. And there's a few more things. I'm not gonna bore you too much with it. Channels, what this basically means is where you can speak to these bots. OpenClaw does have more, but like realistically, if you're not using Telegram or Discord, what the fuck are you using? Security, it is better from what I found and I've researched. I'm gonna be honest though, I never ran into any vulnerabilities on OpenClaw, so I can't say too much. And then finally, scheduling. So what scheduling basically means, you can schedule OpenClaw, you can also do it on Hermes agent to do tasks. I've just found Hermes agent is far superior when it comes to scheduling. So before I go ahead and I actually run you through my use cases, it's really important that I actually set up your mindset for success. The issue, because there's so much fucking shiny object syndrome out there, people are just implementing agents right away without actually thinking about their use case. I was literally, before filming this, I was setting up, one of my students called me and he was like, Joseph, I just made this agent, this agent, this agent. So I asked him, what are their use cases? He was like, I just made them for the love of the game. And I was like, that's the problem. They're not actually bringing any benefits to your life or your agency's life. So you truly need to understand how you're going to adopt them. The best possible way to do this is nothing for the first 2 to 3 days. Simply look at your business, really get into the grains of it. Ask yourself, what on earth am I doing time after time? Audit it every 30 minutes. Write down, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. This is a BS task. This is a task only I can do. I can delegate this task. It's really important you understand where your time's going. And I would split it into these 2 places. So firstly, acquisition. Secondly, fulfillment. I'm gonna be honest, I predominantly use Hermes agent for fulfillment. So what I do, I firstly spotted the problem. What on earth am I spending hours on? Then I reverse engineered it. Is this something I need to delegate to a human being, or can I delegate it to AI? Please do not listen to like tons of the bullshit out there of people telling you AIs can control 100% of your agency. It simply can't. Perhaps we're going to be at that point in 6 months to a year, but right now it's very unrealistic. And the only reason people would say it is they're trying to sell you that shitty course. But once you've realized what you can delegate to AI, that's when you go ahead and make an agent on it. The exact same with acquisition. To be honest, the only reason I use Hermes agent for acquisition is making carousel posts for my agency's Instagram. So you're going to see that firsthand right now. So the first use case of my Hermes agent is going ahead and creating an agency post for me. And it does this in 2 ways. So firstly, schedule cron jobs. So every single morning at 9 a.m., it will come to me with a report of videos I can go ahead and film, which are going to further nurture and convert my audience into buying from me. And secondly, carousel posts. So let me actually pull up Telegram. So this is where I speak to my agent. As you can see on the left-hand side, we have a few other agents. And this morning, my agent Phantom, I've asked it to generate me a profile picture of what it looks like. It still hasn't for me. But as you can see, it's gone ahead and it's given me its daily brief. So YouTube long forms, your 50K per month offer isn't selling, it's not your leads, it's because you don't have trust, which further goes back to my agency. In case you don't know, my agency is called Fusion Media, and we help business owners grow with content, predominantly YouTube. And our whole entire marketing angle is, you do not have a lead issue, you have a trust issue. More people are going to be hopping onto sales calls with you, ready to buy, if you educate them and nurture them with your content. So all of these video ideas are directly aligning to that shift belief in content we need to get more people to buy from us. So it does this in the form of both long form content and short form content. This is what I really love about it. You wake up and you see everything there ready to go. But what it can also do is go ahead and generate me carousel posts. So in order to do that, we leveraged Gemini 2.5. So I'm going to show you how it works. Go ahead and make me a carousel post for my agency that shows someone the benefits of creating content to get more leads. For the vibe of this, make sure to have a gradient background and a really cool pixel art real life graphic. So it's going to do that now. And because I've spent the time already creating the skills, it should go ahead and pull these skills. So execute code. So a rich, deep purple gradient, because obviously my Fusion Media colors are purple. So it's pulling that already. Nice. We'll see how it looks. And the cool thing is, whilst it's generating this, if I wanted to, I could also make a cron job for it to do that every single day, every other day, or whenever I wanted. It'd produce fresh carousels for me to post on my agency's IG account. So this is what it's gone ahead and made. As you can see, it's not the best. It's gone ahead and actually made the text out of it. But I don't mind that too much. To go back to what I said at the beginning, because the Hermes agent is something which improves over time, it's actually worth, once I record this video, for me to respond to it, basically saying, hey, this is pretty shit, the text doesn't fit in, you don't have your dimensions right, because next time it will go ahead and get that right. And this is why it is so worth investing your time into this agent, because it's self-learning. It gets better and better every single time. But I hope you can see the vision and exactly how it's aligning to my brand colors and really how I want my carousel post to look. I'll pull up another one we made to show you how sometimes it makes really cool stuff. So here's another one we made. As you can see, it's still aligning to my brand style and it's fitted in the text. So of course, constant improvement needed every time. Okay, so now let's go on to use case 2. I use my Hermes agent, so Phantom, to be the master of all my other agents. And I do this really in 2 key places. So firstly, handle all of my clients and constant agent refinement process. Before I show you how this works, I want to draw this out. So right here we have Phantom. The main reason I called it Phantom, I really love Rolls Royces. I want to get a Phantom soon. Next, we have another agent of mine. You may have seen him in Telegram when I've shown you. His name is Chief. That boy's icy, you'll see why. And then underneath Chief, we have just a bunch of other agents. So these are agents which are in charge of fulfilling for my clients, whether that's research, ideation, scripting. So let me show you how that works. So we have Phantom here, as you've seen. He goes ahead and speaks to Chief. So Chief is in charge of my agency, Fusion Media. As you can see, I haven't had to speak to Chief for a while, so the 1st of April, because he's now connected to Phantom. So anytime I want to find out something about my agency, I just go straight through Phantom and he speaks to Chief. And this is the profile picture he gave for himself. It's pretty cool. That's why I called him Icy. So if we go back to here and we actually go into my client operating system, from here we can see all the agent activities that are going on. And if we look in the agent workspace, we have Chief in the middle who goes ahead and controls Remy. So Remy is research. What Remy does for each individual client, we have tons of information on them. We transcribe all of their videos. We track everything meticulously. So it goes ahead and actually researches what's working for our clients. Once it's researched, it gives it to Nora to basically get these very rough research ideas and put them back into ideas. Then it gives it to Chief. And of course, Chief will go ahead and report back to Phantom, and Phantom reports back to me. So I'm still the top of the food chain, and we have these really cool layouts of architecture when it comes to our agents. Here's like a golden nugget for you guys. Make sure just to have like your top G agent. They don't necessarily need to perform specific actions. They go ahead and delegate these actions to other sub-agents. Think about it working for a big organization. What you need is someone who manages everything for you and just tells you the high level stuff which is actually important or what you've asked for. But you don't need to know about the nitty gritty stuff. That's for the agents to go ahead and to execute on. Awesome. So use case 3, and this is a really, really cool one. I'm gonna be honest, one of my weakest spots, but it's really one of the most important spots when it comes to an agency, especially if you want to move on to doing other stuff, sell it, or just reach those 100K plus months. You need to be really, really good at delegating. So I have Phantom going ahead and actually making me SOPs. The way it does this, it has access to my Loom and Fathom. So I'm pretty much all day on Loom, just recording, being like, this is how you do it, this is how you do it. And I also record all my meetings on Fathom, and I communicate a shit ton in Slack. Like, I literally live on it, Slack and WhatsApp. What Phantom does, he has access to all of these. He can go ahead and take these transcriptions, take these text messages, and put them into SOPs. So he's literally just cooking up these SOPs. Once they're done, he can store them in our drive. So that's where I do it. I don't personally like Notion. We do store some stuff in monday.com, which is like a project management area, but it's really, really cool. He just goes ahead, cooks up these SOPs. So this could be how to do the acquisition, how to do lead scraping, how to onboard my editors, how to onboard XYZ, my thumbnail people, whatever it is. Phantom goes ahead and makes these really cool SOPs. Okay, so now we have arguably one of my favorite one, and this is cooking up Miro boards. What you see right here, around 75% of it was made by Phantom, and we did it by using the Miro MCP. So I won't go too much into it. After this video, you guys can do your due diligence. It literally takes around 3 minutes to set up. In Miro, you make an app, you then give it your MCP connection to your Hermes agent, and it can start cooking up these Miro boards. Let me pull it up now to show you how it works. So as you can see here, I made this back in 2nd of April. Right now I'm recording this on the 4th of April. It went ahead, cooked this up using the Miro API. I think I may need to blur this. I don't want to expose anything. And then that's when it cooked it up. So I'm going to break down like what it made versus what I did. All of this shit you see right here, these nodes, it cooked it up itself. The only thing I separately used Claude for were these 2 images. Over time, I am going to be able to develop Phantom to better understand this, but there's still like a lot of back and forth, just perfecting how I like my images style, etc. So sometimes it's more time efficient for me, but I love this so much. I'm always on the go, right? So whenever I come up with an idea, instead of me having to type it into notes anymore, I simply text Phantom and it makes me some sort of diagram for it, or basically builds out 60 to 75% of my video. Because for Miro boards, I barely script them. I just have these talking points and expand from that. So that's why it's really, really cool. And it's extremely helpful, not only for myself when it comes to filming videos, but we're also getting this set up right now for all of our clients. So they can literally not even have to build out their Miro boards, because they still do when we script our content. So this is a ginormous value add, and it's going to result in us being able to charge a shit ton more money. If we can save someone 2 hours and we only work with rich people doing 100K plus a month, well, I'm sure they would pay an extra $2,000 a month for us. Perfect. Now we have use case 5, my accountability partner. I had a really deep conversation with Phantom, probably around 3 to 4 hours long, to be honest. And I literally told it everything about myself, how I got here, how I'm partially successful. I wouldn't call anyone successful till they're like at 10 million plus a month. But I also told it some of the things I'm really bad at. So being pretty vulnerable with you guys, I would say sometimes I get shiny object syndrome, and I'm sure a lot of you guys get it. This typically happens when you're smart and you can theoretically make anything work. You know, you constantly see new opportunities, and instead of jumping on them, you need the discipline to pull back and be like, shit, right now I have a really good thing going here. Let's just double down on it. And that's exactly what Phantom does. It acts as my accountability partner. I say, hey, do you think this is worthwhile? It would assess everything we've got going on, the money we're currently making, how we're getting it, and basically say, no man, just double down on what you're doing, double that income, further delegate, then jump onto it. But right now, it's not a good idea. So these are the 5 key use cases I use Phantom for, and I really hope you found it valuable. As an agency owner, tons of bullshit out there, you know, tons of shiny object syndrome, people telling you to implement it, but you don't actually know how. So I hope there's some golden nuggets you guys can implement for. I strongly suggest starting with use case 1, use case 4, and then finally actually, in fact, all of these are pretty saucy. So implement these. Make sure to like and subscribe. If you want to learn more about how I can help you use AI within your agency, click the link below. Peace out, guys.